Welcome back, folks, so let's replay Albion. When last we left off, we were in Umaja Kenta, the city of metal makers and jewelers, and we're going to go and talk to everyone we can and learn as much as we can about the city and its surroundings. There are a few people walking around that we need to go and find, and I think some of them are over in this area. There is one of them. Hello, you. What do you have to say? I have to buy some more. Some more what? Are you going to be more specific? The answer is no. No, you are not. And there is this place as well, which we can't do anything in whatsoever, because if we try to ask to go in, none shall pass. And both of them will in fact say that. You can actually talk to them if they get too close to the walls here. I mean, we could have talked to her, and we could have talked to him, but they don't have anything really interesting to say, so we're going to ignore them and move on. I think there is someone, however, up here that we might have missed, that we most certainly want to talk to. There she is. Hello, how are you? Watch out for sand divers when you wander through the desert. They're horrible animals, and they can't be seen since they lurk under the sand, but they can hear steps many miles away. And indeed, they are very, very dangerous indeed, and you want to make sure that you avoid them if you can. But since you can't see them, it's a little difficult to avoid them. There is not a lot actually to this city, but there is the merchant over here that is an interesting place to go to. Let's go in and see who is inside. There is you, for instance. Hello, how are you? Have you already been to the northern part of this continent? That's where you can visit the prison, which holds all who tried to steal from others. And what about you? What do you have to say? No, thank you. I don't want to buy anything. Well, if you don't want to buy anything, what are you doing here? Unless you're just window shopping, I suppose. Hello? I shouldn't speak with strangers. And indeed, you're not going to. Hello, merchant. How are you? You have nothing over there that I actually want to grab or could reach. Welcome to my wonderful shop. I'm sure you'll find something good here, or would you rather sell me something? I can offer you other services too, thanks to my magical training. I can remove cursed objects, and I can give you extensive information about the objects. Naturally, all of this isn't free. Indeed, none of it is free, and we're actually not free to talk to her about anything that we want to. We can only either go into the shop, get items identified, or cursed items removed, and there is a lot of things we can buy here, including a lockpick that we will purchase, but otherwise it's not interesting for the most part. There are a nice selection of potions, a really nice selection, and also longbows, which we haven't seen before, but do 11 points of damage and cannot be used by most people. There is also a fire ring for 650 gold, which is actually quite reasonable. We might be back for that someday, but not right now. And we'll just leave and move on, I think. There we go. Out we go. There is also a quite amusing house here we can go to. Let's go inside. Hello. What do you have to say? You have this to say, I think. I live here when I'm not hunting and supplying Kyla with fresh meat. Are you the traveling group everyone is talking about? Indeed, we are the traveling group everyone is talking about, and there is no one in there at all. But there is you, and you move over here every single day for a particular reason. You're also significant because your portrait is quite different to everyone else's. Most people have a portrait like Tom's, which has a sort of profile and a way they're facing, but Agida here does not. Welcome to my house. What's your profession? I'm a housewife and have enough to do. Cooking, making beds, cleaning, washing, buying, and then preparing the daily food for the prisoners. Indeed, she makes the food for the prisoners. What do you know about the prisoners? These people have been expelled from our society. All evildoers from the area are kept there. Most of them are fairly aggressive and have to be watched very carefully. The prisoner to the north and a guard goes there every day to relieve the shift and bring food and drink. My job is to cook for the prisoners. Let's talk about the guard, shall we? Yes, if you want, you can meet him. He picks up the food and begins his trek through the desert around 12 o'clock. You can go with him if you want, but watch out for the stupendous heat. You need extra rations when you travel through the desert. Also, you must not stay there longer than 8 hours, since the extreme climate can be very damaging. Many people fall down with complete exhaustion, but it can harm you in other ways as well. If you're still willing to risk the trip, then take a couple of bottles of porn oil with you. If you drink it regularly, it will prevent you getting sick. It increases the cooling of your body by day and reduces the heat loss at night. You can buy porn oil from Merger. However, you must speak with him directly about it, since he developed it and is very proud of it. Merger is an equipment maker, and usually you will find him in his guild. Ah, that is how you get the item that you need to survive in the desert, and we will need it. So we are going to go and pretty much watch an exchange happen here. I think somebody comes in the house at around 12 o'clock, or maybe I'm mistaken. There he is! Hello, how are you? We'll just say hi, shall we? Schema Din! I'm one of the prison guards, and I'm on my way to relieve my colleague. But first, I must get some of Agita's delicious meals. After all, it's a long haul through the desert. You can actually follow him, and we will do so at some point, but not right now. Let's go and explore the rest of the house for now, and see what everyone else has to say. Like you! Hello there! Hello? She seems a little startled that we're in here, and who can blame her, because we most certainly are not somebody who lives in this house. Alright, let's go down here and see who else we can talk to. Like you! Hello! Mommy! Mommy, there are some people here I don't know! And indeed, you don't know us, but there are other people here to talk to. Like you. I'm allowed to cook something for myself. Excellent. And I believe we have already spoken to you before. And you move immediately over there once the cutscene has ended there, the scripted piece of action. She actually goes to rest when it's very late at night, which is interesting as well. There is also another merchant here that we will go and say hi to. Anyone in here? Hello, how are you? Hopefully you're not shocked by our food prices, but keep in mind that everything is delivered by ship. Indeed, everything is. Hello, little girl says shyly, and then she doesn't talk anymore. Hello, how are you? Schema Din. I'm Curlant, equipment maker by profession. Have you been to our guild? Yes, indeed I have. And hello, you. Schema Din. I have delicious meat and fresh baked goods here. What would you like? If you want to buy rations, they are rather expensive. 13 coins each. I don't think we're going to buy them. What's your profession? As you see, I have a small shop and sell food here. I hope the high prices don't scare you. They kind of did, I'm afraid. You may think it's expensive, but remember that all food is brought in by ship. You can't grow anything in the desert, and water is expensive here. You can't use seawater as it's too salty, and rainwater is scarce. And we also have to use it for the plants in our city. Still, the citizens of Umaja Kenta do very well here, because the miners have a metal monopoly. Strangers think that our prices are too high, but you won't find any lower prices for food around here. But if you have access to, for instance, a magical way of transporting yourself around everywhere, we could certainly take advantage of this and make a lot of money if the game would let us. Let's talk about monopoly, shall we? We have a monopoly when it comes to metal production. Aside from us, no one knows how to extract metal ore without enraging Mother Earth. Indeed, that is true. What about buying? Unfortunately, I cannot charge special prices for you, but I assure you that you will only get the highest quality goods here. She's not wrong, they're just as good as anywhere else, but there's not really much else we need to talk about, so we're going to leave. And see, ooh, there's a sign here. On the shield it says, fresh food, best quality. Indeed, it probably is, but it's also very, very expensive. Very expensive indeed. And there isn't actually that much more we can go and do here. I think there is somebody that we can talk to that's walking around. Ah, there you are. Hello. How are you? Hopefully you're here with peaceful intentions. I'm never quite sure when I run into a group of people I don't know. Indeed, we are here with peaceful intentions. We have no desire to go and hurt anyone. There is also the Miners Guild over there that we're going to go and have a look around in a bit. And we have already pretty much explored the entire of Umajo. So we're going to go and go into the Miners Guild and see what we can find. This is a big, big place, and we're going to talk to you first. Hello, Schema Din. if you're visiting, I can arrange a room for the night. And indeed, this is where you can sleep for the night. It costs 5.4 coins, which is actually very reasonable. And that's why I couldn't find anything in the inn where we could go and rest. Hello, how are you? I'm playing right now. Do you want to join me? I'm afraid we're busy trying to save the world, pretty much. But maybe later. Have you seen Zabeno here? He really gets on my nerves. He's always complaining about our prices. He probably has nothing better to do. Well, I guess I'll find him myself. Have a nice day! And we will. Hello. Hello. You people say hello, don't you? Yes, we most certainly do. How did you know that? How did you know that we say hello and not schemed in? That is a bad sign. A very bad sign. Hello. Schemed in. Bakina is my name. Are you visiting here? Well, great. Have a good look around. You might run into my husband. He's a mountain priest and is always working around here. He only has one colleague and cannot take a lot of breaks. We have a hard time because of it. The rumours that we demand too much gold are completely exaggerated. No one has given anything here. Oh? Hello, how are you? We've already spoken to you. Fair enough. We need to go and find that person, actually, and go and get a key from him. This might be him. Well, I'll be. Visitors don't normally wander into my kitchen, but welcome. I am Rakejos, and I'm the cook here. Would you like to know what's for dinner today? Sure. Meat and dumpling soup. Fair enough, that sounds kind of nice. And what do you have to say? Hello. Schemed in. I hope, Rakejos with the cooking. He's always busy, because all the miners eat here. You can't imagine what kind of cooking feasts go on here. Of course, my master is a real chef, as opposed to one of those fake chefs that everyone knows about. Have I spoken to you yet? Have you already heard of the great Stone of the Thousand Visions? My Kuno, the old diamond polisher, told me about it. We may be finding that person at some point. Alright, let's go and see if we can find anyone else. Like you, for instance. Hello. Haha, why are you wearing those funny clothes? Well, little one, when you're bigger, your mummy will explain it to you. We're not from around here, and where we come from, this is normal clothing. Indeed, it is normal clothing where you come from. A spaceship that travels through space. I was about to say in the sky, but that is not true anymore. My goodness, there's always so much dust getting into my lungs. It's really bad when you work underground for a long time. I should get something to cover my nose for when I go into these tunnels, otherwise I can't breathe properly. This really isn't a very healthy place to work, and can you believe all kinds of people complain that we ask too much for our ores and jewels. You probably should cover your, cover your mouth when you're working there. It's probably not safe otherwise. And I don't think there's anywhere else in here that, we need to go to apart from the, no, I don't think there is. I do think we need to go find someone there. Someone very, very important. Are you that person? You might be. Ah, yes you are. Schemed in. It's horrible. Metal ore is constantly becoming more expensive. Schemed in, Zabeno. Merger asked me to greet you. A greeting from Merger? Well, thank you very much. How do you know Merger? We could lie here. We went to see him because we want to visit your test chamber, is the truth. Also, he is an old friend of ours, is not the truth. That is the truth, though. We went to see him because we want to visit your test chamber. What do you want with my test chamber? Maybe you want to test one of my many mechanisms? We actually do want to, I think. Let's talk about mechanisms, shall we? I create new productive mechanisms, which are later used as locks, barriers, and other such things. It's just a pity we don't have enough people to test them. I'd like to test them. I don't find enough people who are able to competently test my mechanisms. My colleagues can't do it since they've been too involved in the development and already understand most of the inventions. We'd be prepared to test some things. I really shouldn't do this, but I'll let you have the key if you like. But you have to be careful. Not everything is entirely safe. By all means, we'll be careful. Well, good. I'll give it to you, but don't tell anyone about it. I really must go now. Merger is already waiting for me. I wish you all the best. And he literally disappears into nothingness. We can also go into the mine if we wanted to, but there's really not much reason to, because there's nothing we can do there. There's also you we could talk to. Schema Din, I'm busy with the spiritual preparations for my sermon. However, I will be glad to help you if you'd like to know something. What's your profession? I am a mountain priest and can conduct the ritual. Ah, hello! How are you? What is the ritual? Ah, that's pretty much something we've already heard. What about preparations? There are only 2 mountain priests in our guild. We're pretty busy and we have to perform the ritual at least twice a day. Otherwise we will offend Mother Earth. Of course, we need to mentally prepare for several hours before we can perform the ceremony. What about work? Yes, the need for ores and precious stones is becoming greater and greater. We can hardly keep up with the mining. Oh? All other guilds need... Ah, yes, I think we, Oh no, we actually haven't heard this one before. All other guilds need ores and raw diamonds for further processing. Since we're the only ones who can perform the mining, we're forced to work a lot if we want our trade to flourish. Which we do, of course. And you do indeed want it to flourish. Ah yes, we're the only ones who can produce metal, and our existence is ensured by this monopoly, since our metal products are sent everywhere in the world. Therefore, it is also very important for us to keep a knowledge about the ritual to ourselves. If other people gain this knowledge, there would no longer be a need for our products. For this reason, we are always careful that no stranger gets this knowledge. Before we perform the ritual, we check repeatedly to make sure we are alone. Only then can the ceremony take place, and can we continue mining the ores. We don't like it at all when strangers wander into our tunnels, so remember, you're welcome to look around our guild, but please do not go into the mining tunnels. We will have to go in there at some point. The tunnels are located in the north, and we have dug into the Great Rock Wall. There are also a couple of rails and loading facilities, but as I already said, we do not like it at all if strangers try to spy on us behind our backs. We're going to have to spy on them. There's even an espionage option. If we catch anybody at it, we can be extremely inhospitable. It wouldn't be the first time someone has tried. Oh? Some time ago, we discovered an equipment maker merger who was spying on us during the ritual. Was he? That's why we don't have a very good relationship with the equipment makers. They believe the ritual is pure superstition and thus unnecessary. I've even heard that they've already tried to mine ores themselves. However, the good Mother Earth will never allow those who are not authorized to do this, so all attempts have been fairly unsuccessful up to now. Merger still doesn't officially admit that the old traditions are pure superstition, but at least he does realize that he did something wrong and asks himself why. No one will succeed in spying on us. We will at some point, but not right now. We are very careful about it now. However, for some time this has caused a problem with the equipment makers. They also think our prices are much too high, although they do not appreciate how hard we work. It is only right for us to have a modest profit. What about share? Other guilds also pay us for ores and raw diamonds. That's what we live on. And that is pretty much all we can talk about here. Going into the mine shaft is a poor idea, so we're just going to leave right now. We could go into the area where we were told that the key would lead to. In fact, it's probably a good idea that we do. Is there anyone in here? The answer is yes, there is. Hello. I clean the washrooms and bathrooms for the miners. Alright, and are you a miner? I'm a little tired. Unfortunately, I had to work all day yesterday. Please excuse me. And you will indeed be left to rest and relax. Let's go and use that key, shall we? The final thing that we'll do here is most certainly to see what is in there. And it's very important that we save before we do that, because it is a very, very dangerous place. We're going to go into the Equipment Makers Guild one more time, because that is where we need to go. In fact, I think we need to go there a few more times before this game is done. Where are we right now? We're actually right outside. And it is currently, unfortunately, shut, so we're going to have to leave and come back in a little bit. Mainly by going outside and resting, because why not? There we go. We just need to wait a tiny bit, and then we'll be allowed in. And we'll just, actually, we could wait an hour. That will make it easier. There we go. We are back, and we want to go and, hello! There you are! Do you know who you're talking to? You have one of the most famous equipment makers standing before you. I was instrumental in the development of the poison needle locks. Yes, indeed. Don't you recognize an important person when you see one? Naturally, I will give you my autograph if you like. Would you like it? I can imagine the group just sort of blankly staring at him. You don't look like you want it. People have no respect for their elders anymore. And I'm really glad that you appeared there so that we could have that little conversation. Also, we now have a key, and this key, not surprisingly, is a vital item and we can't get rid of it even if we wanted to. Also, our inventory is full of gems. Full of gems indeed. And in here is a place that we can go. And we do want to go in here. Here, by the way, is a very, very dangerous location, and we're not going to be here very long, because right now, we are nowhere near prepared to deal with anything that is going on here. Anything at all. This is a very, very dangerous location. In fact, it is a sort of dungeon. A very dangerous dungeon. Indeed. And we need to make sure that we don't get absolutely killed, because we will get absolutely killed. The lever cannot be moved. Tom pulls it with all his might, but fails. It appears as if the lever is locked in some way, and it is indeed locked in some way. And this is also locked. And we can't open it with this key. Curious. The knives continue behind the wall to the left. There appears to be a whole chain of them. There is indeed a whole chain of them, and this is a kind of dungeon that you need to go and explore, and maybe there is a thing over here that can unlock everything. Maybe there is. We're going to have to be very, very careful, though, and it is quite sneaky that they've hidden them where you can't see them in the wall. And we're probably going to get lost if we spend too long in here. Probably going to get very, very lost indeed. What is over here that was worth it? The answer is probably not a lot, but there are enemies down here, and quite a few of them as well. But fortunately we are quite capable of defeating enemies, and maybe we shouldn't be exploring in here a little like this too deeply, because this place is rather dangerous. But we will have this combat, and then I think we'll leave, because this place is rather optional in many regards, and we need to be very, very careful. Also, we're about to find out how good Malthus is at fighting now. With that sheer amount of, well, that one is dead. With that sheer amount of close combat power that he has, he'll probably hit the enemy he's attacking. Let's find out. That one is dead, and yes, indeed, he did hit, and I'm not surprised that he did, because he's pretty good at close combat now. But I think we're going to need Syrah to help him out, just to make sure that that one doesn't get unfrozen and eventually kill us. And in fact, they are still frozen, which is surprising, because I don't think they were frozen that much before. And Syrah is now level 23, which is really, really good. But I think we do want to get out of here right now, because then again there is this massive area here and this treasure chest. What does this do here? It probably does something with the other switch, and there is a treasure chest that we most certainly want to open. And I suppose we might as well go and open it. It's not going to hurt, is it? Well, it could. It could absolutely kill us, but we'll give it a try. And then we'll probably leave here for now, because here is a very, very dangerous place that is probably going to get us killed if, in fact, if memory serves, it will get us killed if we're not careful. There is a particular pressure plate in here, if memory serves, that will obliterate us. Well, not instantly, but we'll be put in a combat which we really, really cannot win at all. Will this work now? Yes, it will, but I don't know what that did. I don't know what that did at all. We could go and check. The worst thing it will have done is absolutely nothing, but I think we really don't want to move too far into this place and explore, because it is very, very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. Alright. Anything happen over there? Yes? No? Maybe? maybe we have to go and press this switch again so that something will happen. Or maybe nothing will have happened at all. But the worst thing we lose here is time, and time is not a bad thing. Yeah, nothing happened there. What if we pull this again? Nope. Nothing happened at all, and we cannot reach that at all. We could try and attack it, I suppose. No? We could examine them? Yeah, they're not going to... They appear to all be connected. Nothing we can use. The pickaxe will not work, so that is curious. Unless we do something like destroy them one at a time, which I don't think is going to work. So I don't quite remember the solution to that puzzle at all, and really, coming in here was only something that I wanted to do to show that it can be dangerous, and it is very dangerous. We will most certainly be coming back here at some point, but not right now. We have other things we need to do, like we need to go and find the Toronto. We really need to go and find the Toronto, and tell them that, hey, this world actually has people in it, and is not a barren, lifeless husk. Although I imagine by now they might have found that out. Although the strange roar is very odd. Maybe that's the mining machine. I highly hope it's not the mining machine, because that would be bad. So, when we come back, folks, we'll go and see if we can find the Toronto, now that we've completely explored the city of the Metal Makers. And if we're lucky, we may find it and everything will go absolutely fine. Everything is not going to go absolutely fine, is it? Most likely it won't. In fact, it's very likely that it won't, otherwise the game would nearly be over. So I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.